Jamaica welcomes 1.7 million visitors to the island since the start of the year. Low birth rate reported. Rapist sentenced to 31 years. St. James celebrate low murder rate for April. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Jamaica has welcomed an impressive 1.7 million visitors within the first 5 months of this year, which saw both stopover and cruise passenger arrivals recording increase over the corresponding period last year. A release from the Ministry of Tourism revealed that, based on preliminary data, the island recorded 1.16 million stopover arrivals and over 700,000 cruise passengers as early as May 5th and 7th respectively, earning roughly $1.8 billion in revenue. This represents a 4.6% increase for stopover arrivals and 23% increase for cruise passengers, moving from 581,000 to 713,000 over 2023. Jamaica continues to face a low birth rate problem, with the total number of live births in the country declining sharply over the last 20 years. In 2021, there were 31,276 live births compared to 40,508 in 2010 and 56,134 in 2000. The information is contained in the Jamaica Population Health Status Report 2000 to 2022, which was tabled in Parliament this week, and it is compiled by the National Epidemiology Branch of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Overall, Jamaica's crude birth rate, which is the number of annual live births per 1,000 population, declined by 10.2 percentage points from 21.7% per 1,000 population in 2000 to 11.4% per 1,000 population in 2022. And that means that the man them either firing blanks or the woman them get stingy and going after career rather than raising families. In the old days, a woman would say, "May I have out my lot?" all when she have 10 hungry picnic, but them days they done. Troy Ellis, the man who pleaded guilty to raping and killing a 9-year-old Talia Thompson in Discovery Bay in St. Anne last year, was yesterday afternoon sentenced to more than 30 years in prison when he appeared before the St. Anne Circuit Court. The gruesome killing of Talia in September last year caused shock and sparked much public outrage. Investigators reported that the little girl was lured to Mr. Ellis' house at Fordland Road in Discovery Bay, where she was raped and stabbed repeatedly. Her body was found inside his house by residents of the community. Ellis, a sanitary worker, attempted to commit suicide after the killing but was unsuccessful. He was hospitalized due to self-inflicted knife wounds, and for the offense of murder, Ellis was sentenced to 31 years in prison. And following the announcement on Thursday that the number of homicides in the parish for April had dropped to an 8-year low, the St. James police were highly commended. According to law enforcement, St. James had only 6 murders in April. Superintendent Aaron Samuels disclosed the information during the St. James Municipal Corporation's monthly council meeting. And over the past month, there has been a decrease in killings and shootings thanks to the efforts of the police and military, he said. In reality, with 6 murders in April, the division recorded its lowest monthly murder total since 2016. However, according to the latest police data, St. James is showing 56 murders since January 1st, which is a slight decline in murders when compared to the same period last year. Meanwhile, 2 men escaped serious injuries after gunmen carried out an attack at a house on Erie Castle Road in Stonehill in St. Andrew yesterday morning. According to the police, men opened gunfire at the occupants, then set the house on fire. Superintendent Sharika, Service Commanding Officer for the St. Andrew North Police Division, said the incident occurred about 1:30 a.m. and it was reported that whilst at a home in Erie Castle along with a friend, the complainant heard loud bangings on the front door. When he jumped out of his sleep, he was awoken to see 2 men dressed in black and another one in an orange sweater firing several gunshots at the door. According to Superintendent Service, the man escaped through his back door and ran, but later realized that his house was on fire. She said arson and gun attack is believed to be the reprisal for a murder that occurred Wednesday in Rocky Valley, also in Stony Hill. Meanwhile, a Westmoreland businessman was shot and killed at his place of establishment in Smithfield in the parish on Tuesday afternoon. He has been identified by his alias Doss. Reports are that men in a motorcar alighted and shot the now deceased man multiple times. He was pronounced dead at hospital. Police sources disclosed that the late businessman was a complainant in a gun court matter. Meanwhile, the body of a man believed to be a missing security guard was discovered in a shallow grave at Fraser's Content in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Wednesday. It was discovered about 11:30 a.m. on Content Road by residents. Kevin Anderson, a 33-year-old of Fraser's Content, was last seen alive about 8 p.m. on May 1st. An item of clothing at the scene was identified by his family member. The police returned to the area on Thursday morning to remove the body and then process the scene. The Linstead police are probing their second murder in less than 24 hours after a man was shot dead in the rural town yesterday morning. The deceased, identified as Uriah Bailey, a butcher from Victoria District, was shot dead at a slaughterhouse where he worked on 4th Street, both in Linstead, St. Catherine. Reports are that about 11:50 a.m., Bailey and two other men were at the slaughterhouse preparing to sell soup in the Linstead town center. And during that time a man entered the yard and opened gunfire at Bailey, hitting him in the head and upper body. The police were then summoned and upon arrival saw Bailey's body with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the head and upper section. Residents said that they believed that his murder was a reprisal for a killing on Wednesday night. And in that Wednesday night report, police said that one man was shot dead while another injured during an attack at Bottom Banbury in Linstead, St. Catherine on Wednesday night. The dead man has been identified as Rical Hunter, a resident of the said community. Reports indicate that about 7 p.m., both men were standing at Hunter's gate when several gunshots were fired from bushes nearby. Hunter, the police said, was hit in the right side of the neck, chest and leg, while the other man received gunshot injuries to both legs. A police patrol arrived on the scene and assisted the men to the hospital where Hunter was pronounced dead on arrival and the injured man was admitted in stable condition. On to sports. NBA continues tonight with the New York Knicks up 2-0 going to Indiana tonight, hoping to go 3 up, but it will be a hard task as the top shotter Brunson might be out after being injured in game 2. Also out will be another very important player, OG Anunoby, who got hurt in game 2 in the third quarter after scoring 28 points as well. And his injury is hamstring, so he might be out for a while, so a banged up Knicks team will have to work tonight. Indiana Pacers, meantime, file a complaint to the NBA that they had 78 bad calls or non-calls against them, but that's not going to help them at all. They gotta go in and play basketball. Football, well people, it comes down to separating the men from the boys this Sunday when the Premier League semi-final when Waterhouse and Mount Pleasant clash and Arnett Gardens will face Cavaliers, and it is a winner take all to the finals. All teams are on 1 point and all have scored 1 goal apiece. Somebody have to win and somebody have to lose, with the winner going to the finals and the loser play for 3rd and 4th. My bet is on Arnett Gardens to reach the finals and to eventually become champions this year, but I could be wrong. Don't forget the best news and sports takes place on this station. If you ever miss the news, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to keep us going. That's news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.